Me and my girlfriend broke up a month ago over a heated argument. Later found out that the guy friend she would go on a hike with is dating her. Didn't know if I got cheated on. So a bit of a backstory here. Me, 27 years old, and my ex, 29 years old, met on a dating app, exchanged socials, talked over a lot like what's our hobbies, how our previous relationships ended, and some other personal stuff. She got cheated on multiple times, was abused as a child by her stepdad, lost her mom years ago to cancer, and grew up without her biological father by her side. She was basically raised by her grandparents. I came from a relationship that lasted almost 3 years before it fell apart due to my shortcomings. She was the greenest of the green flags. My family is still intact despite my father suffering from post-polio syndrome 3 years ago. Other than that, my backstory wasn't as heavy as my ex. We dated a couple of times, then about a month into knowing her, I noticed she wasn't all there. Told me to stop pursuing her, but we still went ahead on our planned date just for the sake of it. I was given another chance a week after, and eventually we became a couple after 3 months of courtship. A month after we got together, she confessed to me that she had a relapse stemming from her previous relationship, where she got cheated on. I tried consoling her as much as I could, and she got over it pretty quickly. I asked her about the time she told me to stop if she also had a relapse. She did. I noticed that after her first relapse, she would get irritated so easily over things like bad photography and cutesy nicknames. I would apologize as much as I can considering what she had to go through before. She would even ask me if she was being too hard on me, and I would tell her no and that it's okay because of what she's going through as a girl, PMS, hormonal imbalance period, that she went through a lot in her life, work stress and all. This became constant even when we were together. One of the few times she made a joke, she told me that she was the only mature girl I've talked to. It didn't sit well with me because I felt like she was saying that my previous girlfriend was immature. I told her in a call that I don't think my ex deserved to catch strays like that, and that there are times that she might need to lighten up just a little bit. She apologized, but after our call, she said that she was returning everything I spent on our dates and was going to cut me off from her contacts. I talked her out of it, and we moved on. This became one of the main problems we had during our brief relationship. Whenever I tried venting out, she automatically thought that she was a terrible person, and I would feel bad about it. I told her that the point of feedback is not to put us down, but to see how we can adjust as long as the criticism is valid. I also said that she could be honest with me as much as she could because it would be worse if she bottled up her feelings. As far as the second relapse, I tried brushing it off, but it bothered me. I wasn't bothered about her getting mad at me on a weekly basis. The thing is, I felt I wasn't good enough for her. The first relapse and her mood swings that came with it felt like it was her reaction to her relapse, and she would pin it on me. For days, we continued exchanging sweet messages and do our usual calls. But I noticed that she started cracking jokes about how she's only for dating and not dating to marry. I asked her if she was really sure of me, and she said no. I also asked when can I visit her again, but she said that she had told her grandmother that we'd broken up. She would laugh and say that she was only joking. It made me uncomfortable. She also called me out on my poor choice of clothing wear, habits that were a pet peeve of hers, made comments about my weight, and asked me if I could bulk up to 70 kilos. I was at 65 and recovering from gastritis during this time. I made sure to eliminate those bad habits like chewing loudly while eating, up my weight to 70, practicing good photography, and so on so I would not embarrass her and I could fit her ideal man. Another thing is that she questioned my sexual orientation due to my clumsiness. I wasn't offended by all of this really. It did make me conscious about my weight, but whatever. During our last month together, I was on the receiving end of a silent treatment for no reason, and we got into a verbal fight and broke up on bad terms. Silent treatment always felt like it makes the people who actually care stupid. It was a very heated argument, and that was the last time we talked. I would have days thinking if I was very inconsiderate if I should have apologized and things would have went differently. More than a month after we broke up, I saw pictures of her with her guy friend she met on a hike that she's dating now. Then it hit me. During our last month, she told me that she doesn't feel like talking and that she wanted to relieve the feeling of missing me. We did patch things up days before our breakup and got back to the usual sweet messages. I never got jealous of the friends she made during her hikes. Matter of fact, I was thankful to them for guiding her in finishing the climbs. She had goals, and I was always supportive of her. I am over her. But one thing that's bothering me right now if she did cheat on our relationship is that of all people I trusted, I did not expect that the betrayal would come from someone with first-hand experience with it. It also made me question myself. I've been losing sleep for a few days now about what happened and how much leeway I gave just to make sure that she doesn't suffer the same hardships she went through before. But it also got me thinking that maybe I should have respected myself a lot more than I did. It seems like my ex may have been emotionally or physically involved with the guy she met during her hikes while we were still together. Looking back, the signs were there: her growing distance, the silent treatments, and her jokingly dismissive comments about not dating to marry. At the time, I trusted her completely and never questioned her interactions with her hiking friends, even though she was withdrawing emotionally from me. What hurts the most isn't just the possibility of infidelity, but that it came from someone who knew the pain of betrayal all too well. Knowing her history, I did everything I could to make her feel safe and supported. I gave her the benefit of the doubt, even when I felt undervalued or doubted my own worth. If she did cheat, it feels not only like a betrayal of our relationship, but also of the trust one had in her character. It's a harsh realization to accept that someone you cared so deeply for might not have treated you with the same integrity you offered them. Since the breakup, I've spent countless nights replaying everything in my mind. I question if I was too lenient, if I overlooked red flags, or if I enabled her behavior by constantly putting her needs above my own. I was so focused on making sure she never felt the pain she'd experienced in her past relationships that I neglected my own boundaries and self-respect. I allowed myself to change, apologizing constantly, fixing habits she disliked, and striving to meet her ideals, even when it wasn't reciprocated or appreciated. Now, seeing her in a relationship with someone else so soon after we broke up feels like a punch to the gut. It makes me wonder how long she had been emotionally checked out of our relationship and whether I was just a placeholder while she explored her feelings for someone else. It's not just the betrayal that stings. It's the realization that I may have ignored my own worth and let myself stay in a relationship that was no longer healthy for me. At the same time, I recognize that this experience has taught me important lessons. I see now how vital it is to set boundaries, to value my own feelings, and to ensure that relationships are built on mutual respect and effort. Moving forward, I know I need to prioritize myself more, not in a selfish way, but in a way that ensures I'm not compromising who I am just to keep someone else happy. Relationships should be about partnership, not constantly feeling like you're not enough or walking on eggshells. While I've made peace with the fact that the relationship is over, I'm still working on letting go of the questions that linger. Did I do enough? Was it my fault? Could I have done something differently? But more importantly, I'm learning to stop doubting myself and accept that sometimes, despite your best efforts, people may not treat you with the same care you offer them. And that's a reflection of them, not you. This experience has been painful, but eye-opening. I know now that I deserve someone who values me for who I am, not for who they want me to be. And while the sting of betrayal may take time to heal, I'm determined to come out of this stronger and more self-assured than before. Thank you for joining us today. If you liked what you saw, please give us a thumbs up and subscribe for more. Don't forget to click the notification bell so you don't miss out on any of our videos. Drop a comment to let us know what you think, and share this video to spread the joy. We appreciate your support and can't wait to see you in the next video. Take care.